positions that you have held as a leader at any point in time. And nature of Commission of India, you've got to know the nature of Commission of India, which is permanent commission. And the choice of service. So if you're choosing Indian Army, Indian Navy, or Indian Air Force, whatever will be your first preference. Apart from that, if you've ever availed, or number of chances that you've availed for the commission, that you've appeared for it. And apart from that, the last is the details with regards to those informations. Right? After that, we come to the SWOT form, which I will go again in depth with you. So let's come back to the PIQ, Personal Information Questionnaire again. Right? So when we begin to fill up this questionnaire, it is essentially like you'll not be filling up the first question of the questionnaire because we do not have any information. Now, when we come to the next question, which is starting from question 2, my first suggestion to you would be that start filling up every information that you can from the left side of the line and the left side of the box preferably. Okay, the reason behind that is that firstly you are telling them that you know how to utilize the resource, like the space is the resource that you've been given and you know how to utilize it well without wasting it. Yes, please. Yeah. Take this. Okay.
We are already filled.
You've already filled, so you need to fill up the SWOT form.
No, ma'am. Our sir told us to take form from you. For preparing for SSB.
For preparing for SSB. Okay, so you can sit here. So I'll go through it again. If any questions, you can ask me. Right? So my first suggestion is that everything that you fill start from the left side of the line and the left side of the boxes. Firstly, when as a psychologist, I look at the form, it kind of tells me that you're very orderly, you're very systematic, and the form has been filled in a uniformed way. You're appearing for uniformed services, so kindly understand that that is important. It kind of gives a first image about yourself, right? After that, it tells the other person that that is the resource that has been given to you and you very well know how to optimally utilize the resource. Okay. Now, if you look at the question 2, over there, if you notice, it's written name in capitals, wherein CAPITLS, every letter is in capital, and thereby you have to write every letter of your name in capitals as it's been written in your matriculation certificate. If you do not look into that aspect of it, and if you use your regular handwriting to fill up your name, I will not consider you in because it tells me that you're inattentive and you're not observant, right? Now, if you move on to the third question, which is your father's name. Now, father's name has not been written in the same way as capitals has been written in the second question. Thereby, you'll be writing your father's name in your regular handwriting. Coming to the third question, which is divided into 4 parts, the fourth part is kind of subtly hidden over there. So you've got to write the maximum place of residence, place, district, and state specifically in that order with approximate population of the place. All right. So the first part, before the district, whatever the population of that place is, you've got to know that. Now, coming to the next part is the present residence, where you're presently staying, place, district, state, and the population, and permanent residence. So whatever is mentioned in your Aadhaar card, place, district, and state. Now, the thing that is subtly hidden over here is continuation in the second. They have asked whether district HQ or not. So if the permanent place, the place whatever you're staying at, is a part of the district headquarters, do write yes. If it is not a part of the district headquarters, do write no over there. Stick to the left of the line. Now coming to the boxes from 5th onwards. Stick to the left of the boxes. State and district, your permanent state and district, in that order you'll write. Religion, please be mindful that those of whoever you all are as followers of Hindu religion, the religion is Hinduism. Those of you all are Muslims, your religion is Islam. If you're Christians, your religion is Christianity, Buddhism. Do not write Christian, Hindu, Muslim. That's your caste and your community. Religion is Islam, it's Hinduism, it's Christianity, it's Judaism, whatever it is. Right? Please specify that. Uske baad then comes SC, ST, OBC. So if you come under any of these categories, please do mention it. If not, then write capital N and A, which is not applicable. Mother tongue, whatever your mother tongue is, date of birth, then I'm assuming that most of you are single. Now they've asked if your parents are alive. Please be very specific and very clear when you're tick marking on yes and crossing off no with a horizontal line. You'll not get more than 10 minutes to fill up the form. So in case there is any mix up over there, I might get a very mixed up information which might be very misleading. So be very careful about how you cross it off and how you tick up those things. If your parents are alive, then that question is not applicable to you, so you can write NA. But in case, unfortunately, you've lost your parents for some reason, then you'll be specifying your age at the time of your mother or father's departure. Then we come to the family information, wherein they're asking about your fathers, mothers, guardians, elder brother, sister, younger brother, sisters, educational information, occupation, and income per month. So my personal suggestion is write column wise so that you don't miss the order of the line, right? So you kind of write all of those informations like that. Now, if your mother is, say, 12th pass, then please mention 12th pass. Don't leave it at 12th. If she's a graduate, do mention graduate and the degree that that person has done, BA, BCom, BSc, or whatever other. Occupation, whatever their occupation is. Now, if your mother is a homemaker, do not write housewife because her job or occupation is as a homemaker, right? Then whatever is the income, please do mention it over here. And it's approximately per month. If you're very sure of your parents' income, then you need not write approximately. Uh, then we come to the other aspect, which is educational record. Now, only over here, you've got to write the educational requirements. You do not have to mention sports or any other requirement over here. So the first line is about, the first row is about 10th class, which is matric or higher secondary. The second one is 10th plus 12, which is 12th, 10 plus 2, sorry. Then it's graduation and post-graduation. Now, if you've completed up till post-graduation, please do mention all of those with respect to the respective brackets that they have given. If you've only completed 11th or 12th, then please mention the full name of the school or the institution or college that you are studying in, board or university, the year that you took admission in and the year that you passed. So say supposedly in 10th class, you took admission in 10th class in the year 2022, please mention 2022-2023. Be very specific while providing those informations. Division and marks. Now, a lot of you might not be aware, and that's again my assumption, about what division entails. Now, if you're scoring, your total score is between 60 to 100%, it is considered as first division. If it is between 40 to 60%, it is second division. If it is below 40%, it is third division. So whatever your total percentage was, please mention the division first, followed by your marks, which is your percentage. Medium of instruction, whatever the medium of instruction of your school was, please mention that. Border stands for you being a hosteler. So if you were a hosteler, please write border, otherwise you are a day scholar. Outstanding achievements, if any. So outstanding achievements, they are asking for any kind of an achievement that you had accomplished with regards to your educational record. So say supposedly, if you stood first in school, that's of course your outstanding achievement. You ranked fifth in school, that was your outstanding achievement. But say supposedly in your prelims, you had scored, say, roughly 88%. And in your finals, you've scored 92%. That's still your outstanding achievement because you have personally outdid yourself. That's your personal success parameter. And thereby, it's important to mention that you may not have stood first in class or first in school or fifth in school, but you outdid yourself. And that is your personal recognition about your own success, which tells me that you have an understanding of how to evaluate yourself. And thereby, to me, it shows a certain level of confidence and a certain level of self trust and self esteem. So I am looking for those psychological aspects. All right. So please mention about those things. Then comes your age in years and months. Whatever number of years and months that you've completed, please mention your height in meters. Please mention not in centimeters. Convert it if you are not aware of it. Then weight in kilograms. I'm assuming again that most of you would not be in anyways occupied, or you would not have an occupation or an income. If you do have, mention it. If not, not applicable. NA, capital NA, not applicable. If you've anywhere participated in NCC at any point in time, please tick mark on yes, cross off no, and then provide the rest of the information: total training, wing, division, and certificate obtained. In case you've not participated in NCC, tick mark on no, cross off yes, and rest all of the other boxes comes in NA, not applicable. Then coming to question 11, which is divided into four parts. I would prefer that you be as diverse with regards to specifying your games and sports, your interests and your hobbies, and your extracurricular activities in as diverse manners as possible, because I want to see cadets, or I want to see people who can be as interesting as possible. And they have had an opportunity, or rather, they've given themselves an opportunity to explore different facets of themselves. All right, and what they have realized about their own selves while exploring themselves through those facets. So, games and sports, whatever games and sports you've played up till now, you can write them one after the other. Duration of participation period or duration of participation, whatever number of months or years that you've played up till, with regards to that or with reference to that particular sport. So, it has to be individually mentioned. Whether you've represented that particular game or sports in your school, college, university, or other level. So, school, college, university is very obvious. Other is that you might have played with your friends. Other can also be that you've participated through an academy. You have been in training with an academy or even participated in a club. I want to see what kind of a competitor you are. I want to see if you do know, if you do have strategy making abilities. I want to see what kind of leadership qualities you have with regards to games and sports. And I want to see what kind of a team player you are. So psychological aspects are being measured over there. Outstanding achievement, if any. So, if you've had any outstanding achievement, even if your team has won, if it has not been a personal achievement, but you were a part of a team that won a certain match, received a trophy, received a certificate, please do mention it. Apart from that, if you've ever played at district level, well, that's your outstanding achievement, and you can write that you've represented your school, your college, your university, or your academy at the district level, which is your personal achievement. Do not be shy to mention your achievements. Okay, hobbies and interests. Now, hobbies and interests need to be diverse from sports and games. So, whatever hobbies and interests that you've pursued up till now, and extracurricular activities. So, any other extracurricular activities apart from sports that you have engaged in. So, I can give a cite a few examples over here, like dance, drama, singing, art and craft, science projects, debate competition, fancy dress, whatever you've participated in a group as an extracurricular activity. Please mention that. Duration of participation, again, with regards to every individual activity, mention the duration of participation and outstanding achievements, if any. Please mention that as well. Now we come to part D, which is specifically talking about leadership qualities. So over here, any point in time, you've been a class monitor, you've been a prefect, you've been a house monitor, you have been a house captain, you have been a schoolboy, a schoolgirl, you've been a leader of the science project at any point in time in your extracurricular activities. You've been a captain, a vice captain with regards to NCC positions if you've held any, and all of those positions count for leadership qualities. So please do mention any and all of them. Nature of commission. Now, over here, they have not given the line, and we need to understand that we need to maintain the order of the line, and therefore, you'll have an imaginary line in your head, and thereby, nature of commission will be aligned with the above line. You will not move in or out. Please maintain the order of the line. Nature of commission is permanent, and choice of service, whatever it is. If it is Army, please write Indian Army. If it is Navy, that's your first preference, please mention Indian Navy. If it's Air Force, please mention Indian Air Force. And if you've appeared for the services at any point in time, please provide the information in question 13 and 14. If you have never appeared for it, it's not applicable, NA. Now let's come to SWOT analysis. This is something that mostly all organizations do, and that's assessing your own personal and interpersonal strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So I can share a few examples over here, and it can go like that. So, say supposedly, um, being an articulate speaker is one of your strengths, mention that. If you're a good leader, mention that. If you're a good team player, mention that. If you're a healthy competitor, mention that. If you're an attentive listener, mention that. If you're a good observer, mention that. If you're good in debating, mention that. If creativity is one of your aspects, if curiosity is one of your aspects, punctuality, discipline, dedication, loyalty, all of those things come under your strengths. Weaknesses, essentially, anything that you overdo or underdo becomes a weakness, right? As a psychologist, the first thing that I would notice it if you say you're hardworking, say that's one of your strengths. But if you mention too hardworking or not at all hardworking, that's a weakness because there's a story behind being too and not at all. If you're saying that you're too organized, well, being organized is good. Too organized or not at all organized is something else. It reveals a different story. And I would be wanting to get to know that story a little more because it reveals your personality to me. So, so all of those things that you overdo or underdo, confident is good, overconfident, underconfident, most days don't work. Some of the times you can get away with it. So please think about all of those things. Now it can be opportunities. So opportunity can be that you're probably doing your own personality assessment or your own SWOT analysis for the first time. And please remember your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats are as much personal as they are interpersonal because we are both individual and social species at the same time. So it cannot be either ways. It cannot be either or. It has to go both ways. Okay. So, so opportunity can be self-reflection through SWOT. Opportunity can be that you are probably getting to learn with more discernment. You're getting to be more observant about yourself. Opportunity can be that you have taken up coaching classes somewhere, and it's kind of giving you some insights into how to attempt those competitive exams. Opportunity for you can be that if, say, supposedly you've started to learn how to manage your money and your space and your time, if you're staying in a hostel, then it's kind of giving you a leverage in keeping with others or in reference to others, wherein it's an opportunity to for you to learn how to manage your expenses and your incomes with regards to the inflow of money, right? So even if you get it, even say supposedly you're getting your pocket money but you're able to manage that pocket money well, it kind of gives you a leeway ahead of others. Then threats. Threats are those things that we are afraid of. And every threat, you literally feel it in your body, right? Uh, as a psychologist, I'd say the brain doesn't know the real difference between a threat, a perceived threat, and a real danger. So anything that you literally physically feel in your body becomes a threat. So, say, supposedly, you are afraid of speaking in front of the public, or stage fear is one of your things, and your tummy rumbles or your heartbeat goes really up or it really goes down, that's a threat. You're afraid of competition. You're afraid of not being selected. You're afraid of being rejected. You are afraid of examinations, or you're afraid of the results of examinations. If you feel anything in your body that is not on a normal functioning way at that point in time, that's your threat. And it can also be losing your loved ones. It can also be fear of disappointing somebody else, fear of disappointing yourself, right? So anything that you feel somewhere in your body that constricts you or makes your heartbeats go faster, makes you sweat a lot more, makes you tremble, is a threat for you. So acknowledge that, because your body is speaking to you, and thereby address it. So, this was with regards to your PIQ personal information questionnaire and with regards to your SWOT analysis. Now, just before I close this down, there is something I like to mention before I close it down. It's very important to know your family's educational, occupational, and income history, because as much as defense is about leadership qualities, it's also about teamwork. And your family is your first team in life, and quite likely will be your last. Not definitely, but quite likely. And it kind of tells me, if you're well connected with your first team in life, it kind of tells me what kind of a team player you are, and if you can be trusted and dependable and be relied upon. There's a sense of loyalty, there's a sense of interdependency. If that is not conveyed properly, it kind of gives me an information what kind of a team player you are, because of the time you've spent with your first team in life. So I am assessing those things in a lot of in depth, and thereby I'm asking all of those questions in equal in depth. So please understand that a psychologist is looking at layers of you, not just one aspect of you. And if there's any layer that seems a little conflicted, that will be the place that I'll first target. So please be aware of the information that you provide. Please know that you need to know about your first team very well in life, right? Because it tells me about the emotional, about the mindset aspects of you. So just remember those things. And in case there's something else that you want me to address, please feel free to question. Uh, I think I have completed my time over here. In case there's any question, please feel free to question or even drop a question. Thank you. Okay. There's another thing also that I would like to mention, that when you are writing about the population of the place, whatever the number is, please write approximately after that. Like, say, supposedly, if the population of the place is 2,000 people, write 2,000 approx, because population changes every second. So you've got to be aware of those little nuances. Uh, do not forget about the religious aspects, please. If you are a Hindu, please write Hinduism. If you're a Muslim, write Islam, Christian, Christianity. Do not leave it as Christian, Muslim, or Hindu. That will not be acceptable. Uh, Please, please be aware of your accomplishments that you're mentioning, because it's revealing something about you. It tells me how much of self confidence you have. It tells me if you're able to self reflect and realistically self reflect, right? Uh, if you have some kind of self trust that you can evaluate yourself based on your last performances, that you've even done 1% better, right? It shows me self confidence that probably every time you don't need somebody else to clap for you to recognize your own accomplishments and your own potentials. So you are telling me your story over there. Um, so, yeah, that was what I needed to talk to you about. Please be very, very mindful. Let's say mindful. Please be very mindful when you're putting out your SWOT forms. Understand that your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats are as much personal as it's interpersonal, because no human is an island in itself. We are social species. We even interact with each other. Even over here, when it's through a non-living thing, which is like a computer, I'm still interacting with you, and interaction happens between two or many people. So even if you think that I'm the only person speaking over here, we are still interacting. And thereby your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats can never, ever, ever be just for yourself. They are in relationship to something or the other, someone or the other. So think very, very mindfully about those things, and be very confident and comfortable with your skin. You can only get confident when you're comfortable with yourself. So when you get comfortable with your strengths, with your and you're more aware of yourself, it's easy to take the interview as a conversation that you're having, not necessarily an interview wherein somebody is scrutinizing you. Of course they are. They are scrutinizing you. That is something that you've got to remember, but it does not bog you down. If you're comfortable in your own skin and if you're confident about your own self, then you're having a conversation and interaction with somebody else. It doesn't go beyond that, right? And you kind of know that you did your best. So, yeah, be mindful of those things. Any questions, please drop in or you can ask.
इसको करना है